What's going on, guys? It's Flip, and today I got a Blu-ray and DVD haul. Now, I usually would be on the camera, but I'm actually at work. I am covered in pizza sauce. I did not want to, normally I look more presentable, but tonight work was crazy, and I'm standing in front of this absolute monolithic stack of pizza boxes ready for tomorrow night. Sundays are always pretty busy, so that's good. I hope everyone is being safe. Hope everyone's healthy during these troubling times. But I got everything from Westerns, from Criterion movies, to Japanese cinema, to wuxia, to anime to go through. So let's get into it, guys. And let's talk about Burst City. I haven't watched this yet. This is one of my favorite Japanese films of all time. It is as punk rock as you could possibly get. Arrow Video put this out. I have the Discotek DVD that was put out ages ago. But this is a fantastic movie. It really, truly is. I highly recommend you guys pick this up. Special edition contents are high definition, obviously new transfer, brand new audio commentary by Tom Mess, which is always nice to see. So I would recommend picking this up. This is one of the best releases of the year. And I haven't even seen it yet. I just love the movie. A better transfer of a movie with the audio commentary by Tom Mess? Hell yeah. Something I have seen, though, is The Bride with White Hair. I've been trying to get more into this Wang Yu film. I've been trying to get more into Chinese cinema, especially wuxia, sorry. I always get that word confused. But this is put out by Eureka. This is a fantastic, one of the best movies I've seen of the entire year. This is one of my favorite releases of the year. This is a Region B release, so you are going to have to be region free. And so Wang Yu directs this highly operatic fable based on a well-known martial arts novel with Leslie Chung. You can't go wrong with Leslie Chung and Bridget Lin as doomed lovers caught in the crossfire of warring clans. Just a fantastic release, guys. See if there's a reversible cover. There is. Let's go ahead and pop this. I love this disc art too. This might be my favorite disc art of the year, but let's go ahead and pop this out. You got the original poster there. Fantastic release. Eureka is becoming one of my favorite labels. Along with 88 films in them and Indicator, it's really good to own a region-free player, so I recommend this. And then some more Chinese cinema. I don't know why I said Japanese. This is the Dragon Missile. This is from 88 Films. This is the part of the Shaw Brothers collection. This is the Asian films. This is number 16. Fantastic movie. Like, all Shaw Brothers films are a lot of fun. And they have really high production values because they mostly were on set. They all had, they had sets kind of like Hollywood had old Western sets. So I picked up a lot of these. Come Drink With Me, which is directed by King. Is it directed by King Hu? Let me see. No, sorry, this is not directed by King Hu. One of them is, so we're going to talk about that. But yeah, this is another great movie put out by Shaw Brothers and 88 Films. This is number 24 in their collection. And then I haven't seen this yet. This is Dragon Fist by Jackie Chan, part of their Asian collection / Jackie Chan. They've been putting out a lot of older Jackie Chan movies, and they're all pretty damn good. So excited to watch this one. And then One Armed Swordsman. This movie is incredible. A little bit of a, I don't want to say hidden gem because people know this movie, but when they talk about Shaw Brothers, you get the usual, 36 chambers, you get the usual 5-element ninjas, which we're going to talk about here in a second. But One Armed Swordsman is one of their best, in my opinion, that they've ever put out. Just seriously, one of my favorite movies from the Shaw Brothers. This is number 15 in their Asian cinema collection. And then speaking of 5-element ninjas, one of my favorite movies of all time. This is a classic kung fu film. I can't stress enough how amazing this movie is. I specifically love the original artwork with all the ninjas right there. Yeah, look at that. That is incredible. I want that as a poster. 88 Films, man. I wish, before I had a region-free player, I was very jealous. I was like, man, someone needs to start putting stuff out. And I would love to see, they haven't really put out 36 chambers. I don't think they have. But I would love to see the Five Deadly Venoms. I would love to see like a Five Deadly Venoms collection, because not a lot of people know this, but the Five Deadly Venoms was like a group of characters that the Shaw brothers just used a lot. They were in dozens of films, and I would like to see like the greatest hits of the Five Deadly Venoms, but I'm happy with what we got. This is a incredible kung fu movie. I grew up on this stuff. This is number 3 in the Asian collection from 88 Films. And then another 88 Films collection, The Flying Guillotine. Yes, this movie with one of the most badass weapons of all time. There's the back. Let's see what the artwork on the inside is like here. I love that. I love this movie. Another top 3, probably Shaw Brothers films for me. Spy number 10 in the Asian collection. And then 2 movies from Film Movement. This is a blind buy. This is from my friend Ice. You guys probably see him in the comments. He's on Facebook. He's a really cool guy. He recommended I get Shanghai Triad. And Film Movement was having a sale. I had one more thing from them coming, but it hasn't arrived yet. This movie is on my top of my list to watch. I haven't seen this, like I said, blind buy, but it looks really good. I love that poster. I don't know. I literally know nothing about this movie other than what the back says. So, winner of Best Foreign Film. So that's awesome. And then a King Hu movie, The Fate of Lee Khan. I, again, know nothing of this movie. This is a new release from Film Movement, I believe. I love King Hu so much. Touch of Zen, Dragon Inn, both great classic wuxia movies. I want to get more of his movies, so I'm glad that we have more here to get from him. And it looks like it's going to be classic King. So The Fate of Lee Khan is to the Chinese martial arts movie what Once Upon a Time in the West is to the Italian Western. That's a pretty bold statement. So what is this right here? New York Times critics pick. The name King Hu and Angela Mao mean great times at the movies. I can't disagree with that. So let's go and talk about some more. Now we're going to get into Japanese movies, and I'm sure we'll talk about some other kung fu movies here in a little bit. But we got Takashi Miike double pack. I've seen both these. I haven't opened these yet. But we got 13 Assassins and Harikiri. And these are perfect examples why I think Miike is one of my favorite Japanese directors of all time. If you look at his filmography, sorry, with the stutter there, he has done amazing horror movies like One Missed Call or Audition. He's done really gross films that captivate you, like Itchy the Killer. He's done bad movies too, like Terraform Mars. But this right here, he's done yakuza films. He's done V cinema, like the Dead or Alive trilogy. He's done really tasteful yakuza films like Graveyards of Honor. But this right here, both of these are remakes, right? Both of these are remakes to classic samurai films, especially Harikiri. But what he has done is put his own twist on it, and both of these films are, I think, modern classic samurai films. I think they're modern classic Japanese cinema. I think these are must-watch. If you are even remotely interested in getting into Takashi Miike, I would recommend picking both of these up. Now, my friend Cody and I are going to be talking about this and the thing next to me, which we're going to talk about here in a second. We're going to be talking about this on our podcast, I believe, coming this Tuesday. So this is just an amazing set of films here. Both put out by Magnet, right? I believe. Who gives a crap? But anyways, these are both. I highly recommend both of these. And then we're going to talk about some classic samurai movies. And one of the things I love about Animigo is that not only are they putting out, great anime, they've also have a line called Samurai Cinema, and they've put out some fantastic samurai movies. So we got 13 Assassins, the original. The first 3 films in here are all by Aichi Kudo, I believe. I'm not terrible with names. You guys know this. One of the best classic samurai films. And the thing I like about Animigo is that I don't want to say normies, but people from the outside who just casually enjoy samurai films, you get stuff like the Criterion Collection, you get Seven Samurai, you get the original Harikiri, 3 Outlaw Samurai, Zatoichi, Lone Wolf and Cub. But if you want to dive a little deeper, there's not that many companies putting out classic, more unknown samurai films out there. You know, like we're gonna talk about spaghetti westerns. There's a plethora of unknown spaghetti westerns available to us on DVD and Blu-ray. But here, as a samurai fan, like I love samurai films, it's always been tough to find more obscure samurai films. So this is probably Kudo's most famous piece of work here, 13 Assassins. But you also got The Great Killing, which is amazing. And I love their covers. I love how and you're going to see it, yeah, right here, the red with the blood is in color, but everything else is in black and white. That's a nice little touch. But yeah, these films are all from the 60s. I believe this one is, what, 1964? Yep, 1964. And all of these movies are just breathtakingly fantastic. Like, these are, I think, required viewing if you're even interested in Japanese cinema. I think Kudo, these 3 films right here are all mesmerizing. So I love that original poster right there. And all of them are in black and white. And then you got another more unknown samurai film, Revenge. On the back here, you got a nice Amaya's Revenge is surely one of the best samurai films. And I totally agree. 1964 again. Japanese directors were putting out a ton of amazing stuff in the 60s and 70s. If you have the Zatoichi box set, just take a look at the back on how many of those films, I think it's 15 in that set, how many of those films came out within 2 years. It's like 90% of them. It's insane. Then we got a Yakuza film here. This is another Lonely Hitman. I have been captivated by Yakuza films lately. And I think it's mostly due to, not to dive too much into it, but my family, extended family from generations ago, were in the Sicilian Mafia. So growing up, knowing that, I've always been drawn to gangster films and mob films. But specifically Yakuza films, I love their like rituals, the like mythos that surround the Yakuza. And I recently have finished Beat Takeshi's Outrage trilogy, which was amazing. And I picked this up on a blind buy and loved it. And I was told that this is part of a trilogy. I don't know how true that is, but I'm going to try to hunt down the other films. This is just a amazing noir-esque Yakuza film. And then right here, Jimmy Wang Yu Collection. So I had picked this up. I don't know if this is a bootleg or not, actually. I actually don't know. I don't think it is, but yeah, so this is Beach of the War Gods. This is a fantastic film. This is, I think, one of the best Jimmy Wang Yu films. And someone on one of the groups I'm in on Facebook posted this, which was the Jimmy Wang Yu collection. This is out of prints from Shop Factory, and I noticed that this was a part of the set, but I don't know if this is a legit copy, so I went ahead and picked this up. And the other films on here are One Armed Boxer from 72, The Tattooed Dragon from 73, Beach of the War Gods from 73, and then Man Called Tiger. Some of these movies are hit or miss, but stuff like Beach of the War Gods definitely are big hits for me. So I would recommend, if you can find this for a good price, because like I said, it's out of print, hunt this down. And then I picked up something that I actually thought was I thought this was a bootleg, because I ordered it from Amazon, and it came to my door, and then I noticed that the disc was a burnt disc. Oh, hey, there I am. What's going on, guys? It was a burnt disc. So after doing some research and asking around, this is a print-on-demand film. My friend Cody, Trauma Nerd on YouTube, told me about this movie. It's got the great Tak Sakaguchi. He just said, hey, it's an amazing action movie. If you want good action and you want, just to turn your brain off for a little bit, pick this up. And it delivered so much with that. This is some of the best action I've seen since, since probably John Wick 3. This is just amazing. And plus it's Tak Sakaguchi. He is incredible. But this scene in particular right here, these two, the way they reload this gun was, it was like a second, right? It was like a second long, but it was the most badass thing I had ever seen in my entire life. And it made me sit up out of my couch and rewind and just be like, oh my God, that was so sick. So I highly recommend you pick this up. This is a Shudder film, so print on demand. Eureka has a version of this. I'm thinking about importing that, so pick this up. And then we got Shadow. from the director of Hero and House of Flying Daggers. This was one of my favorite movies the last couple years. This was made, I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, this was made to look like a Chinese water painting. And oh my God, is it one of the most breathtaking films I've ever seen. And it looks spectacular in HDR. So I'm not even going to try to pronounce this director's name. I'm terrible with names. You guys know this. So, but if you want an amazing movie, and even if you're not into like wuxia or Chinese films, if you want a good movie, because this is a very good movie, the story is almost it's almost like Shakespeare. It's got a very Shakespearean quality to it. But if you want a good movie and you want something to show off some great HDR, this is the movie for you. This is incredible. The battle scenes are amazing, and even though the umbrella blade things that they use are a little goofy at times, it's still amazing. But with Chinese movies like this, you gotta kind of understand is that wuxia is just basically China's superheroes. Like if you look at superheroes, they're goofy. The Hulk, Iron Man, Captain America. It's all goofy. So if you just go in knowing that, you're gonna have a good time. And then we got Kinji Fukusaku, the amazing Kinji Fukusaku's Shogun's Samurai, the Yagu Clan Conspiracy. So this is a movie starring Sonny Chiba and Mifune, one of the greatest actors of all time. And Kinji Fukusaku might be my favorite, my second favorite Japanese director. It's really hard. Usually I would say Shinya Tsukamoto, but I've been really loving Kinji Fukusaku lately. And he's mostly known, at least to me, for his yakuza films. And it was really cool to see him direct a Japanese samurai movie. And this is an amazing movie, by the way, which got turned into a long-running television show. This, Lone Wolf and Cub, and Zatoichi all had television shows. And yeah, I'm sure if you guys have seen this design, the samurai with the two swords and the eye patch, it's kind of an iconic look. So pick this up. It's out of print, but it's not too expensive. It's definitely worth the money. And let's go ahead and get into some westerns here. I picked up. I've been on a Sergio Corbucci kick lately. This is part of the Italian collection from 88 Films, starring the great Burt Reynolds and Navajo Joe. Solid release, a great movie. Sergio Corbucci, my friend Cody No Teeth, aka Trauma Nerd, I've talked about him before in this video. He told me that Sergio Corbucci is better than Sergio Leone, and I thought he was a little out of his gourd for a second, but then after devouring some of Corbucci's films, especially his Mud and Blood trilogy, which includes The Great Silence, the original Django, and The Specialist, I have to say Corbucci is definitely my favorite Western director of all time. So I'm glad to pick that up. And speaking of Django, we got Man, Pride, and Vengeance with Django Comes Death, starring the amazing Frank Nero and the incredible Klaus Kinski. So this is put out by Blue Underground. I think this is still in print. This is a really solid movie, so I would recommend it. Franco Nero, one of the greatest Italian actors of all time. He's still alive. He still looks good. He looks good for his age. And something that's out of print and there's a blind buy and I haven't seen yet. But my friend Cody, again, recommended this to me because it's got two things I love. It's got Tomas Milan and it's got Ennio Morricone on the music. So this is Face to Face, like by Kino Lorber, 1967 spaghetti western. More spaghetti western. We got the spaghetti western double feature. I know nothing about this. This was like dirt cheap, like $6 or something. This is The Last Gun and $4 of Revenge. I couldn't turn down cheap spaghetti western, so I'm going to be watching these here very soon. And then we got some anime to talk about. These are Discotek titles. Some of them I have not seen and know nothing of. I just blind buy a lot of Discotek titles because they are my favorite boutique Blu-ray label for anime. And if you are even like remotely interested in anime, I would recommend you pick up Discotek titles because they are a lot like Arrow and Criterion in that they put a lot of love and effort in their restorations. And if they can include special features, they're usually very top notch. Their titles tend to be stuff that I'm more interested in, more stuff like Lupin the Third, a lot of old school unknown mecha stuff. They dipped their toes into some unknown tokusatsu stuff recently. And you know, everything from Fist of the North Star to the original Devilman OVAs, even the Devilman TV series, they have under their belt. So, and forewarning before I talk about these Blu-rays, I am friends with a lot of the Discotek guys, so that just be fair, just be warned knowing that. I don't get paid by them or anything, but even before I was friends with them, I was a massive fan. So we got Osamu Tezuka's 1001 Nights. This is a very not safe for work movie by Tezuka, and it's kind of funny because we all know Tezuka for his more child-friendly shows like Astro Boy, but there was a time where he was doing a lot of shows and a lot of manga with more mature themes. This is still sealed. I have seen this, but I have not seen this restoration yet. So, and then 2 shows that I really know nothing about. I don't want to talk about them too much, but Big Order, and I don't even know how to pronounce that one. So, I don't know anything about them. I'm blind by, like I said, a lot of Discotek titles. And then one of my favorite anime franchises is Lupin the Third. So Lupin the Third is a pretty daunting franchise to get into, but if you are interested, just kind of know that you can go in at random. A lot of the stuff is standalone. Just do like a little briefer on the characters and kind of what Lupin is all about. You can have very goofy heists, very serious OVAs. But my favorite being seasons 4 and 5, which 4 is on Blu-ray from Discotek, 5 is still not available yet. I believe it will probably eventually come, but these are both TV specials, number 6 and 7 from 96 and 95. This one I have not seen yet. This is The Secret of the Twilight Gemini. There's the front, and there's the back. They always have like very uniform packaging, which I love. And then I have seen this one. This is The Pursuit of Harimu's Treasure. Now, there is some stuff, you guys remember, this was made in 95. There's some material in here that is a little not politically correct for our times. There's a little bit of a briefer on here about that. So if you have any slight trigger warnings, I would say maybe skip this one. But I really enjoyed this one. I thought this one was a lot of fun. I just love Lupin. It's I don't know if I said this or not, but it is like anime the comfort food. Whenever I don't know what to watch, I put on a random Lupin OVA or a random episode, and I just sit back and enjoy. Like, I specifically remember being a kid and watching Lupin on Adult Swim or on Toonami, and I was very sick. And they had like a marathon or something on, and ever since then, Lupin has always been a love of mine. So very happy to pick those up. And then I've seen this show. I haven't seen this because it's still sealed. I haven't seen this version. This is it's a new transfer in 1080. This is one of the great mech shows. This is Dan Kuga, Super Beast Machine God, Dan Kuga to be exact. So I'm super excited to see how that looks. And then we got a couple Arrow titles before we talk about the kick-ass Criterion titles that we picked up here. So Christopher Walken. This is King of New York, starring Lawrence Fishburne, Wesley Snipes, and Steve Buscemi, by the great Abel Ferrara. This is, I think, Ferrara's best work. Probably his most digestible work. This is technically a Region B release, but it is a 4K release, which means it is region free. And the way they had this cover, this slip cover has like I don't know if it's picking up or not on here, but it's got like a felt almost feeling to it. It feels like unlike anything in my collection. But yeah, this is a fantastic mob movie. This is the movie that we get a lot of Christopher Walkenisms from. You know, like the way he talks, the way he delivers his lines. It stems from this movie. And this is the only movie where you can see Lawrence Fishburne and Wesley Snipes both act side by side, which kind of blew my mind when I read that because they're both amazing actors. So violent. You could tell that it's kind of like in the same vein of Hard Boiled or any of those John Woo gun movies. There's a lot of gun violence in here, and it's over the top. So happy to pick that up. And then I picked up The Limits of Control. This is a Jim Jarmusch, I believe is how you pronounce his name, film put out by Arrow Academy. I haven't seen this yet, but I did watch Ghost Dog, which we're going to talk about here in a second, the original poster there, and loved it. So I wanted to get more of Jim's work here. Nice booklet, again, like Arrow usually does. But let's talk about the big stuff, the Criterion releases. So we got Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai, starring Forrest Whitaker. This is spy number 1057. This is one of my favorite releases of the year, hands down. I watched this with my wife, and she loved it. Everything from the soundtrack to the acting to the characters. She was pretty enthralled with it. Again, for a movie from 1999, it still holds up very well. Very much in the lines of Le Samurai, the classic French movie. But the coolest thing about this release is not only are you getting a really amazing book with some really good essays, you're getting, yes, Hakakuri, which is what he reads from throughout the movie. If you've seen this movie, you know what this is. This is a part of the release. I love this. When I picked up the booklet and I started to go through it and I noticed that this was in there, I was like, oh my God. This is officially one of my favorite releases of the year. And if you haven't seen this, go into it. It is incredible. And then, The Irishman. Best packaging of 2020, hands down. I love the artwork on this release. We're going to open this up here. Look at that. There's my boy Pesci. There's my boy De Niro. And there is the amazing Al Pacino. This movie, guys, man, this movie is so good. I see a lot of people kind of shitting on this movie now recently. And I know it's not Martin Scorsese's best film, but it's his best film in a long time. I loved this movie. I think this movie is a modern masterpiece. It definitely deserves to be in the Criterion Collection. This is spy number, by the way, 1058. It came out the same month as Ghost Dog. God, man, this movie is so damn good. The documentary in here about this film is incredible as well. And, it kind of made me dig a little deeper into, Hoffa and what exactly happened. It's based on the book I Heard You Paint Houses, which is, mafia slang for, hey, I hear you shoot motherfuckers. So I love this movie. I love this packaging a lot. I think this is the best artwork of the year, hands down. I kind of want to get a poster of the three faces. And then, guys, Joe Pesci in this movie, Jesus Christ. For a guy who is such a small man, and as a short guy myself, he is so confident, and he's a fucking pit bull. I feel like Joe Pesci would rip my goddamn face off. He is incredible in this movie. Robert De Niro is incredible. And Al Pacino, man, holy shit, Al Pacino, probably his best acting in such a long time. And Roberts, too. I mean, Robert De Niro, he does a lot of, terrible fucking movies, and Joe Pesci's barely been in anything, but God, this is incredible. Loaded with special features. It's digital 4K transfer. Like I said, the biggest special feature I've seen on here has been the documentary, which I think you could watch on Netflix's YouTube channel for free. But yeah, guys, amazing release. I highly, highly recommend it. And then the big boy release of Essential Fellini. As a WAP, I couldn't pass up buying one of the greatest WAPs of all time, his work. And Criterion really killed it this time. Still, I think overall the packaging for Irishman, it's more simpler. But for a box set this year, I think this is the best box set packaging. You get a brochure of the movies, 8.5. Mandatory viewing, in my opinion. Amazing. I love this box set. But here's the thing. As much as I love it, I gotta criticize it, because you gotta criticize what you love, right? Let's go and open it up. Here's how the discs are laid out. The thing I love about Arrow, right? Arrow Video, is that their box sets are uniformed. They have a size. You can fit them on the shelf, display them together, and they all look fantastic. Criterion, I don't think a single special box set like this, because they do the box sets like Decalogue, stuff like that. It's technically Lone Wolf and Cub, even Bruce Lee. Those are all the same size. but they're big box sets. The Essential Fellini, the Agnes Varda set, the Ingmar Bergman set, they're all different sizes. And I wish they would kind of uniform them, because I honestly don't know how to display this monstrosity. It's not as tall as the Bergman set, but it is almost as big as a vinyl record. It's not quite there. It's like a 10-inch, I think. So, but yeah, this is a great release. I think everyone should pick it up. I love the packaging design and everything. Like I was saying, you got Essential Fellini right here on the side here. No spine number or anything. I just wish they would kind of uniform their releases a little bit more. But this has been my haul, guys. This is pretty much everything I picked up in the last couple months. I'm going to start maybe cranking these out weekly, because I do get a lot of things, and this has been 30 minutes of me rambling about what I picked up. So, and I want to give a shout out to some amazing people in the community, Nathan Jones, Aaron Pinn, and Just the Discs. They, on my channel, I've been 99% manga and anime for the last 2 years, I believe. But I've been getting it more into collecting movies, and those three people in particular, especially Aaron and Just the Discs, have kind of welcomed me with open arms, and also Elliot Cohen as well. So, you guys, thank you for watching. I'll be back with some movie reviews. I do plan on actually reviewing The Irishman in its entirety, like doing like a deep dive on the story and the packaging and the special features, because I'm going to devour this release. So I cannot wait. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. And if you guys like, please hit like and please subscribe. We are at 6,000 subscribers. I would like to hit 10,000 by maybe summer, so that would be pretty rad. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.